and introduce yourself to the class?
Check. Class, my name is Dave Smutok.
What do you do here?
That's a good question. I do a lot of stuff, primarily in the office with planning for programs, summer camp programs, Highland training as a whole. I guess strategy and visionary thoughts. So the first season Highland opened 2006 to the public. There are 4 trails. Any Style, which was a jump trail. There was Maiden Voyage, which was what we call a technical trail now. Steep, rocky. There was Fancy Feast, which was a beginner trail at the time. And Eastern Hemlock, which was kind of like the intermediate trail.
I remember hearing at the time that Mark had purchased a property, just through word of mouth I heard this, in New Hampshire, and him and his friends had started to build trails there with the plans on turning it into a bike park. So I thought, who's going to drive to New Hampshire to ride mountain bikes when there's so much good riding on the North Shore at Lynn and Gloucester and all these great trails. First trail, like so many other people we rode, was Maiden Voyage. At the end of the day, I remember thinking, wow, Mark's onto something here. And I think for the first couple of years, I was really riding Maiden exclusively. I didn't really get good at riding jumps and taking big air until they built Hellion. And Hellion was a 3-step process over the course of a couple of years. Middle Hellion, then top of Hellion, and then lower Hellion. Once they got that finished, for me, I couldn't get enough of it.
Over all those years, the building science has changed, the way bike technology has changed, the riding technique and the way everyone's hitting jumps has changed. The demographics of riders as a whole here has changed so much. 2006 and 7, there's a few thousand, 3,000-4,000 rider visits maybe. That it's late 30s, males, very into mountain biking. And Mark, very early on, saw the potential for families and kids and camp programs and way more what Highland looks like now.
I'm Lachlan Becker. I'm 16 years old. I'm from Stratham, New Hampshire. I've been riding bikes since I was around 7 years old. Got into BMX when I was younger and haven't stopped since. So throughout the past few years, I've progressed a good amount, and it's mostly been from Highland. I first started doing bigger tricks here just last season. As far as the trails go, helping me progress, Power Hour has definitely been a big one, and Hellion. I get comfortable with a lot of my tricks on Hellion before I bring them to any other jump. It's been amazing to have this mountain so close by. The features that are here is just, they have a stepping stone for everything. Like each drop, they have Thorntons, they have Reef, Tomb, Pink, Cliff, and it gets you comfortable with everything. Hellion, Power Hour, Slope Course.
It's an inspiring thing to see for me, to see other riders progress. Reef drop, for example, on a busy day, you typically will see people hanging around down there, scoping it out and hitting it for the first time. And I love to see the excitement and the high fives when someone lands something like that for the first time.
Training and trails is about building terrain to match your programming and develop mountain bikers instead of just building those sweet new jump trails for just a small amount. It was always about building this scene, and it took a little while, and I think it really took off when we tied in the progression, the accessibility of this sport to a bigger audience, which made it possible to stay in business and build more trails, continue to expand on the lift, hire more wonderful staff that have certainly taken this thing up more levels every year.
My name is Amanda Vansant. I'm a coach here at Highland. I'm a local, and I used to come here a lot for Wednesduro and then Thursduro. And I've been riding mountain bikes for about 6 years, and I've been riding here for like a year and a half. Yeah, so when I first started riding here, I was kind of like a cat's paw warrior, like hellion. I was really comfortable in those trails. But I remember like looking at the slope course and thinking like, there's no way I'm doing that this year, maybe next year, that kind of thing. But as I've ridden here, I've kind of pushed myself out of my comfort zone a little bit in a healthy way. I think that the people I'm around here, my friends and my fellow coaches and all that, have really pushed me to like healthily get out of that comfort zone. The first time I hit this drop, I was standing up there and my friend Avery was like, Amanda, let's go hit it. And they had me walk down here, lay down on the boards actually, to see the perspective of what the bike is doing instead of what the perspective of like what it looks like I'm doing. I lay down on the boards, I told them, oh, that doesn't look that bad. And then I went down there, watched some people do it a few times, got scared down there, came back up here, laid down on the boards again, and realized that I was fully capable of this. And then I got towed in by Avery and it was an incredible experience. The idea and like I think the general vibe here that everybody's here to progress. It doesn't matter if you've never ridden a mountain bike in your life or if you're here like progressing on a skill on slope course. Everybody's here to get better.
I've definitely stepped back and looked at my progression, but it's mostly not me being super surprised, but more proud of myself to be able to get where I am. Definitely didn't get here alone. I've just loved doing it and always kept the mindset of I'm gonna have to do it at some point, so why not just do it now? And that's gotten me through a lot of things. At the start of last season, as you said, just getting a full suspension for the first time. I hadn't hit reef, hadn't hit tomb, hadn't hit pink bike. And I made my way through.
I don't know that I would be as good a rider without Highland. No way. There's just no way that I would have progressed to the level that I'm at without the features here. And E-Style is another one where at age 35 I didn't hit that, and then at age 50 I am hitting it confidently, and I think that speaks to the progression here. You can't just step in and hit that thing. You gotta hit the smaller jumps and work your way up. And there's no way I could have done that without Highland.
This is more home to me to watch our shift in demographic, our shift in rider visits, and our ability to plan and really grow this sport.
Being a woman in like the mountain biking world, that's another thing that like it's kind of special that you find such a like unique group of people that are so there to support you in riding. Like the other women I've met here are just like insane riders, insanely nice. Everybody's just there to support you, and I think that like when you feel supported, you feel at home.
But it's also about the community that's always here, because if it weren't for this community, I wouldn't have progressed as much. I wouldn't have gotten so comfortable as quickly.
I know it's going to keep getting better, and I look forward to progressing my riding, to seeing more and more people come to move their riding forward, and yeah, it's going to be, I think the future's bright for Highland here.